To one and all. My name is Mrs. Sita Rajagopalan and I am the head of client relations. I am happy to welcome you today's webinar hosted by Subi Vidya Foundation. My special respect and pranams to my mentor, Mr. S. Subramanian sir, for giving me an opportunity to speak at the start of this session on World Water Day. Water is a vital resource which is essential for all forms of life. It is used for a variety of purposes like drinking, cooking, hygiene, industry, and more. Without water, life would be impossible, impacting ecosystems, human health, and the global economy. With a growing population of about 140 crore in India, scarcity of water will lead to a severe crisis. So we have a responsibility to save water and safeguard our ecosystems. This webinar will discuss more on this issue. The key speaker today is Mr. S. Subramanian sir, who is the founder and chairman of Subi Vidya Foundation. He is an accomplished engineer, eminent speaker, writer with decades of international experience in the environmental field. He is passionate about promoting environmental awareness and protection through training and educating corporates, students, faculties, and others. Mr. S. Subramanian sir will tell us more on how every drop matters save water. I request Mrs. Sumitra Devi Venkatagiri Madam to take over the session. Thank you all.
Good morning to one and all. Welcome to the students and faculty of DMI Engineering College, Chennai, Mohammed Satak Engineering College. I'm sure the faculty who have enabled the students for this enriching session, you have done a great job, faculty. And please get in more because he is a wealth of knowledge. Everybody will be benefited. So to start off, a short, sweet introduction about Subi sir. Mr. Sundaresan Subramanian is an accomplished senior management professional with an impressive array of international work experience in the private sector and US government agencies. With a unique combination of technical, marketing, and managerial skills, Mr. Subi has a strong background in energy and environmental management. He is the founder and chairman of Subi Vidya Foundation, a charitable non-profit organization based in Chennai. During his distinguished career, Mr. Subi held senior management positions in multinational corporations and US government agencies. As the Asia Program Director of a multi-million-dollar US Asia Environmental Initiative, he launched numerous energy and environmental projects covering 6 Asian countries, including India. One of the projects was a unique partnership between two of the longest rivers in the world, the Mississippi in the USA and the Mekong in Asia. Earlier, based in the American Consulate General in Chennai, he had successfully promoted dozens of US-Asia green projects and business partnerships to address many critical energy and environment-related issues in India. He has also trained hundreds of executives in energy efficiency and environmental management. Subi sir's work is recognized through many international awards, including meritorious awards from the US government, Tamil Nadu government, and the US Association of Energy Engineers, and an award of professional recognition from the city and provinces of Ohio, Philippines. His work experience is backed by brilliant academic qualifications, including advanced training in Japan, USA, and the Philippines and Vietnam. He's a certified lead green associate of US Green Business Council, degrees in electrical engineering and production engineering, and a postgraduate diploma in business management from St. Xavier's Institute, Bombay. Subi sir, the floor is all yours. Please enlighten us with all the information which you want to provide us with. Students, please make a great use of this opportunity.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sumitra. It's been very nice. Good morning to all. I hope everybody is able to listen to me. A very warm welcome to everyone attending the seminars on the World Water Day, which is celebrated every year. And we are truly excited at the overwhelming response to our seminar announcement. Special thanks to Dr. Sujata Jamuna Anand, the principal of DMI Engineering College, for her exceptional leadership and vision to include the students in the seminar today. Her efforts, along with the enthusiastic participation of the students and the faculty members of this college, have been instrumental in making this event a very most important and enjoyable one. I extend a very hearty welcome to all the participants and also the students and faculty of DMI Engineering College. Well, I'd like to commend the unwavering commitment of DMI Engineering College towards promoting water conservation. As requested by the principal, Dr. Sujata Jamuna Anand, I am very happy and delighted to announce the formation of your students' chapter of Subi Vidya Foundation in your college. This initiative will not only support your water conservation efforts, but also further enhance the reputation of your college as a leader in sustainability. So thank you all once again for being part of this important occasion. So I'm going to now switch on my presentation, the PowerPoint, just a few minutes, you'll be there. Sumitra, please allow me to share my presentation.
Sam?
Okay, I'll do that right away. I got it. I got it.
Vidya? Yes.
Yes, I got it. That's good. It looks nice, very colorful. And we're going to talk about every drop matters and save water. That is the title of today's presentation. First of all, I'd like to tell you, how did the World Water Day start? Well, many of you may not be aware, but there was an idea born at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development way back in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro. There was the first time I think they recognized the importance of water, and the first World Water Day was celebrated on March 22nd, 1993. So then they took a decision that every year on March 22nd, they will celebrate it. And today is the 33rd year of its observance. And it highlights one of the most important goals of the United Nations, Sustainable Development Goal number 6. And you would like to know, what is this goal about? The United Nations, perhaps many of you are aware, has 17 Sustainable Development Goals. They are called SDGs, as you know. And they are all forming a universal call to action to end poverty and protect the planet and ensure that people lead a happy and enjoy peace and prosperity. These are all the goals, broad goals, and they framed it as 17 goals. I'm not going into the details of the 17 goals, but the most important thing is goal number 6, which we are supporting very strongly, and that is to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all by the year 2030. But we choose to recognize this important day by holding the seminar to raise the awareness, especially among college students and colleges, institutions, because they consume a lot of water. There is very high demand of water in engineering colleges, like you have for drinking services, then for laundry, for your hostels, then your dining halls and toilets and laboratory and multi-purpose demand in this institution. Therefore, we chose colleges to be a important part of this today's seminar and raise the awareness of the college's students as well as the faculty members to contribute towards the goal of United Nations. Going further, I'd like to tell you about the fresh water situation. I'm not sure how many of you know really that less than 1% of all fresh water is readily accessible for human use. It's really a kind of a shocking news. You have water everywhere, as I say, but not a drop to drink. Only less than 1% of all fresh water, because much of it is seen in salt water, 97% in oceans. You can see the pie chart, and 2% are all capped in the polar ice caps. They are all frozen. And the available fresh water is only 1%. In fact, the United Nations says that only 0.5% of the water in the earth is usable. So that being said, if you have only 0.5% accessible and less than 0.007% of that is drinking water, it is possible to use that only for drinking. How can we feed a population of 6.8 billion people around the earth with that little availability? It's a big question, and people need water to survive. Everybody knows it. But unfortunately, human beings have proved to be inefficient water users, as we see lots of water being wasted, not only in India, but all around the globe. There is a tendency to take water for granted, and then they waste it. So that is a very worrisome feature, and that is the reason we have to talk about water. Okay, why every drop matters? Because, as I mentioned, water is a very precious resource. You see, very small percentage is available. It is not going to last forever with increasing population. And water is getting scarce because we keep on digging bore wells, and then the depth goes down below and there is less water. On the contrary, water is absolutely essential for life. We can't live without it. We can't live even 1 week without it. And therefore, the water conservation is very crucial for us, particularly when there is inefficient water usage in many places. So that is the reason why we say every drop of water makes a difference, and it is therefore important to save water. And in our foundation, we are very passionate about nurturing nature and saving water. Our slogan itself is nurture nature. If you take care of nature, you save water, then the nature will take care of you. And that is how it works. And our ancestors have been very conscious of their water use because they had to work much harder to get access to water. They had to draw from wells or walk a long distance to pick up from water from the river or nearby lake, and relying on natural resources. They didn't have pipelines, they didn't have any kind of purification in those days, and they often used water more sparingly compared to us. So we think they knew the value of water and were wise in using the water. In fact, many people worship water, and it is also referred in many scriptures. For example, the Holy Bible portrays water as a vital resource and a symbol of life and blessing, emphasizing the importance of sharing it with others and the consequences of its scarcity. It is in many parts of the Bible. So also in other scriptures like Vedas or, in Quran and so on. So it is not that it is something new, but our ancestors knew the value of water, but we have to now consider how to save it given the modern living and with all the pipelines and so on. So what has changed with the present generation? Because we have more accessibility. We have pipes we have storage, we have distribution systems that includes pipe, tankers, and so on. This convenience can sometimes lead to what you call water being seen as an unlimited resource, and there is less consciousness of its usage. In many places, we buy water. You see everywhere, there are these PET bottles being sold and people just buy it and they think it's available all the time. But that is not true. Let us realize that water needs to be respected. Just for example, a leaking tap, it's a small drop of water dripping. One small drop every second means 5 liters of water gone per day. And that is more than enough for a person to drink. An average person may be consuming 3 to 4 liters of water. So that being said, water is so important that every drop makes a difference. So you may ask, oh, what do we get for conserving water? Is it really worth it? Good question. I'll tell you more about it. What are the benefits we get out of water? Using less water, you save money because your water bills will come down. Your water is billed by the Chennai Municipal Water Corporation or board based on the consumed the quantity. So if less water means less money, less bill. So it saves money, one thing. Secondly, most importantly, it saves energy. After all, water is being pumped up and you use electrical energy in the pumps. And less water pumping means you save energy and also money accordingly in treating as well as pumping. So that is another big advantage or benefit you can say. Thirdly, it is safeguarding the ecosystems. The environmental impact is that overusing water is not good. Like you can say overeating. Overeating leads to indigestion. Therefore, over-watering the plants also is not good. You have to just use the right amount of water, and that will help you to save water. And by conserving it, you can protect the natural habitats and preserve the biodiversity. And finally, it assists a great deal in mitigating and the impact of climate change. We are all talking so much about climate change. The less emissions and the less energy use means lower footprints, carbon footprints, and therefore it helps assisting in mitigating and adapting to climate change. So these are some of the major benefits that you get out of conserving water. And by conserving water, we reduce strain on resources and help mitigate the challenges that are facing us. Okay, these are some of the major benefits. There are many side benefits. There's also consciousness being raised, and then there are quite a number of economic benefits you get, like water shortages, can impact agriculture, industry, and leading to food shortages and all. So when you save water, you provide more water for other sectors which also need them. Therefore, it sustains livelihoods, it sustains industries. In short, conserving water is not just about saving a resource. It's about safeguarding our future, protecting the environment, and ensuring that we and the future generations have access to clean water. And that is the main goal of United Nations SDG number 6. Make water accessible to more people. So even small efforts like reducing wastewater at home or anywhere outside can make a big difference. Okay, a quick word about where do we get water from? All water comes from nature. You get rainwater, you get surface water, you get ground wells, bore wells, supply from reservoirs, like, you have Pundi, Red Hill, Cholavaram and all that. They're all reservoirs, Chambarambakam, they are all contribute to the supply. And even from distant places like Viranam Lake and the Krishna River in Andhra Pradesh. And above all, now we also have desalinated seawater. We have two desalination plants at Navali and Minjur. They also contribute to water sources. So you have so many sources available, yet there is water scarcity. So what is the situation in Chennai? That's because most of the people, the participants are all from Chennai. I'm going to talk more about Chennai situation. So what is the situation of water in Chennai? Now, Chennai's current water demand, say, is estimated around 2,200 million liters per day. But the supply is less than half. And when I say supply, the supply made by Chennai Municipal Water Supply Board, CMWSSB, they are able to meet about 1100 MLD. There is a big gap between what they supply and the current demand. And therefore, there is a persistent demand supply gap. And the demand is increasing. You can see by a study by Anna University in IIT Chennai, quite a detailed report has been made on that. They say the demand is expected to increase around 2,365 MLD or more by 2030. So that means it is going to widen the water demand and supply gap. And the rapid urbanization of Chennai city is growing all over, and the effect of climate change, they're all going to be major factors on widening this gap. And therefore, what do? We need some smart solutions. And today the word smart has become very, very popular because we have smart cities, we have smart meters, we have smart digital things, and therefore we need smart solutions. So let's see what we can do. The challenge of water scarcity, which is staring at us, and Chennai is gearing for another scorching summer. Everybody is concerned about water shortages coming up. It happens almost every year, as you know. You can see these tankers plying on the road and people running after it. You see the colored plastic pots, a very colorful pot. They run after it to take some water. You see the lady here, she's taking 5 or 6 pots. So that is the situation we face almost every year. So what do? We have to face it. How to do that? We have to think and plan a strategy. For any challenge, we need a strategy also. So what is the kind of strategy we are going to have? Well, I say we'll think smart strategies, I would say, because water is one single important resource and should never be wasted. So what do? One of the important strategies, particularly for institutions like engineering colleges and schools, you need to create a kind of water team. You can call the team members as water warriors, it has got to be voluntary team, those who are really concerned and who are wanting to do something. You create a water team, and that team, you can train them to save water. You can train them to do water audit. There are companies doing it, and even our foundation can help in some way to train this team and tell them what needs to be done. I'm very happy that this engineering college, DMI, has come forward to form a students chapter, and that we have another date maybe to spell out what is the role of that chapter, how will they be able to help. All that can be discussed later. But what we need to do is target water saving solutions, for which, of course, you have to identify the current water usage patterns, what it is, how are you using, what measures are already there. I'm sure some measures are already adopted by your college, and many people are now doing that since a couple of years, and understand how the students, faculty are using water in various areas, restrooms, laboratories, dining halls, athletic facilities, landscaping, and so on, and identify potential areas for improvement. For example, you can summarize the findings after compiling and analyzing the data. and present it to the management for some action. Now, this also includes exploring technology. Now, some of the technologies are tried out and very well used nowadays. One is rainwater harvesting, which is there. Many people have already done that. And other thing is about the fixtures which are used in the piping, like pipes and then the valves and so on. And other technology like recycling the water, and there are so many of them. So we are going to talk about that also a little later. And finally, most importantly, the behavioral changes, how one looks at water as a resource, the attitude, that has to be slightly changed to adopt our strategies. Okay, let's talk about technology. One is rainwater harvesting. Many of you must be already aware of it. What it does is, instead of wasting the rainwater, it collects it from the terrace of every building, and through pipelines, you can see the figure here. They bring it down and then to a rainwater tank where it is collected. You have the special tank with pebbles, etc. put in that, and the water gets like a groundwater well. It collects there, and then that water can be used when needed. So it really increases the groundwater. Okay. So, for example, this is a schematic of rainwater harvesting in colleges, a schematic building. You see in the top, there is a roof drain collecting storm water, and there's cooling water, and then you have got the pipe going up to the sediment tank, the holding tank from which you can pump up to toilets, urinals, the cooling tower for the air conditioners, and so on. So there is a supply from the rainwater and then the utilization in different places, which is saving you a lot of bottled water. Well, this is an example of a project that I launched long ago when I used to work with the US Asia environmental programs, where we introduced wastewater recycling in Loyola College. Of course, it's about 20 years back, but it was a very successful project. We saved something like 50,000 liters of wastewater treated per day using special technology from Georgia, Atlanta. And you can see the consul general at the time inaugurating this project, Mr. Richard Haynes. He's breaking ground for the project. Loyola College, the students around all in smiles. And this demo project, we cut the cost of buying water by almost half for the college. So this is a typical example of how we can save water by recycling the wastewater. Now, it's very common in many countries in the Western countries, but now it is also being adopted in many corporations in India and maybe some colleges. I had introduced wastewater recycling in the Tirupur textile industries, where initially they were reluctant to do it, but finally, with a grant from the government, we managed to introduce a unique technology. It is called Vibratory Shear Enhancing Facility, VSEF, from a California company called New Logic. And it was very successfully introduced, and some of the industries were able to recycle wastewater 6 times. So you can see the amount of savings they've had. Not only that, the tankers used to leak and ruin the roads while going. They stopped buying the tanker, and therefore the roads were safer. So there are a lot of economic benefits coming out of saving water. Okay, this is a typical example. I'm just giving you for illustrative purposes only. Okay, there are other technologies which are now using digital sensors, sensor-controlled water taps. You must have seen them in many places. They use motion sensors to activate water flow. When you just wipe show the hand, and the water drips. And when you stop using it, then the water stops. So it saves up to 70% of water. Otherwise the normal taps which you use, they sometimes forget or do not close completely, the water is wasted. But this one doesn't do that. You just, according to the motion, it starts. I've used it extensively. I've got different motion sensor to detect motion outside my house. I can see if anybody is coming, and it also provides lighting. So it saves water by controlling the flow only when there is motion, not otherwise. It's highly hygienic also because there is no human touch involved. Going further, you can save a lot of water by similar kind of digital controls with toilet flusher. They also have, you can see those little slots there. They are sensors. So when somebody uses that, the water flushes, and the moment the motion is detected, the water just it comes out and then it stops automatically. The single flush toilets may use 10 to 15 liters of water, just imagine. And many of these hostels and where there are public places, the toilets consume a lot of water, sometimes as much as 30 to 40% of the total water consumption. Just imagine, when you do the audit, you can find out how water is being wasted in a number of these places. So it is most important that we save water by using these kind of digital aids, as they call it. Of course, in each case, you have to work out the cost economics because they are not cheap, they are quite expensive. But when you compare with the wastage of water, they may be economical because they are going to save water for you. So that being said, for each of these options which you discover, there are opportunities for water saving in your institution. There is a cost economics which has to be worked out. And then there may be 20 such options coming up, but you may not implement all of them. You may just choose 5 or 6 of them and then implement gradually. There are also low cost or no cost strategies, which I'm going to present a little later, which can be implemented immediately. It doesn't cost any money, but very little money also if there is. But that is also important for any institution, even at home, I would say. So that saves a lot of water and energy, as I said. So that being said, let's see what's next. There's also a technology of tapping water from atmosphere, air to water. You know, the air contains moisture, and the moisture can be extracted through the air to water generator. You have this technology. I believe IIT Madras has got one. They developed and they have deployed it in their campus. I have got one of the domestic model in my home, which gives me about 10 liters of water every day. 10 liters. In fact, I don't buy water for that reason because we can always use it. So over the long run, it saves you money. More than that, convenience. Then there is Bharat Electronics in Bangalore. They also launched a air-to-water generator. It provides, I think they are manufacturing, I don't know, but I've heard them, they've been using it. And the one on the left side is also commercial model. What you see is in Bangalore. The railways, Indian Railways have got one in Secunderabad railway station. You might have seen it. They call it as Meghdut. They got given a name as Meghdut, which harvests water directly from the air and provides drinking water to the passengers and people at the railway station. So this is another technology which can be explored. I'm not saying you must use it, but you have to still work out the cost economics. This is one of the options available. Okay. All right. So what we really need is integrated solutions, not just one here and one there. We have to see what are all the options available, and then we have to integrate them together. There are many options, as I mentioned. One is creating awareness among users, which is little or no cost, right? So by creating awareness and he goes into the restroom and he finds the water is leaking, he closes it. So that is no cost. So simple fittings can be changed. If you want to just change one valve, it is a little cost, but then it is also saving. So you have to cut leakages and wastages everywhere. You know, I had a leakage in my bathroom, and I thought it was a small one. I know that's it completely filled up one bucket overnight. One bucket. So this can happen anywhere, and we all see it at home. We all see it at public places also. So one important thing is cutting leakages and wastages. And how will you know it? Only by conducting a water audit, analyze it. So that being said, you have to adopt technologies which are good, which are cost effective, which will save water in the long run, and we make it available to other people also. So what requires is implementation of integrated water management techniques, not isolated, but integrated water management techniques. It has to be done in an organized way. Okay, that being said, let's see what are the other low-cost technologies. What I mentioned, there are quite a number of low-cost strategies. First of all, I think you must form your students' body for water conservation. Like now you have the students' chapter, which can focus on water conservation. And the members of the student chapter, they can be called as water warriors. And it is a first step because somebody has to do this job. And voluntary students who come forward, I would like to say that their efforts are commendable, and we should welcome them, encourage them, and we would like to encourage them also. To encourage students in many ways. For example, they, instead of buying PET bottles in the canteen or anywhere else, they can bring a small reusable water bottle. Like in good old days, we used to take small flask-like thing, It can be a plastic one or a metal one. It can be refilled. So the person can put it in the backpack and then bring it instead of buying. No, buying PET bottles has two things, People don't drink it fully, they throw it halfway. I've seen it in many weddings and many of these events. 1 liter bottle, they drink half and throw the rest. The water is wasted. The bottles have headache because they become waste which cannot be, solved so easily. It is non-perishable. So it causes two problems. One is wasting water and adding to the solid waste. So the third is raising awareness on saving water, put posters everywhere. I think many colleges are doing it. I'm not sure about your college, but then I think there are many educational institutions which encourage the students themselves to draw some very creative posters, when they go near a tap, there is a poster staring at them. And that will instill some kind of a consciousness in the students. Well, here it is, I should not waste it. So let's save. So even 10% of the students save, it's still saving. So you can raise awareness by creating colorful posters. You can have a competition or a contest for the poster creation and give them some gift like that. And fix signs near the water taps to remind students to turn off taps. It's not that they don't remember, but when they see a poster or a sign, I think it draws their attention, and therefore they make sure they close it. Okay, the water draining from air conditioners, many of the air conditioners, they have the drain outside, the condensate. That can be reused for your garden and plants. In our place, we have got a window air conditioner. I put a long tube down below, and below you can collect the water, and that water can be used for the garden. So in a place like a college, you have so many air conditioners, and that the condensate will be a huge quantity of water, which can be reused for the toilet or for plants for other uses. And do not overwater the plants. Very important. Now, I was wanting to tell you about an example of a water saving device in Puducherry. There is a place called Sadhana Forest. my friend Aviram Rosin. He's the person who created that forest. It's a 70-acre, once upon a time, arid land. Over the last 15 years or so, he has developed it into a very productive form, a beautiful one. And his methodology is use the PET bottles inverted, make a hole at the bottom, and then the cap regulates the flow of the water. And then it kind of provides drip irrigation for the plant. That's a very nice way. So it just gives enough water for the plants to survive. So overwatering, as I mentioned, it is not good. And above all, any institution must have a water conservation policy. If it is not there, the students chapter can start drafting one. If it is already there, they can follow it. So water conservation policy is something very important. I would like to stress its importance. And please make sure that you have a water conservation policy in your institution. Okay, going further, what is the government doing about it? That's the question. Not that they are directly involved in many things. I believe that environmental protection comes from the bottom, not from the top. By introducing laws alone, you cannot do that. But people have to be conscious. So it has to rise from bottom and go up. But the government, of course, will have their own initiative. I'm going to tell you a few words about it. Central government, they have many of these. They have a national water mission, which is focusing on conservation of water and minimizing wastages. You can go on Google it and you can see the website. It tells you what all they do. They also have a Jal Jeevan mission, which is part of the ministry and Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation. They also have many activities going on, and they have they're promoting rainwater harvesting, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which is catching the rain as they call it, and they also recognize the water savers through many awards, annual awards, I think. They also have a Bureau of Water Efficiency, which is part of the Ministry of Jal Shakti, and they provide training and formal training, certification, and they have many publications too. So, and as far as Tamil Nadu government is concerned, you'll be very happy to know this is the first state to mandate rainwater harvesting. No other state did. Tamil Nadu took the lead. And then they said all industries, all new buildings must install rainwater harvesting. So most buildings you'll find already have rainwater harvesting. Maybe your college already has it. And they have the other program, it's a mission called Tamil Nadu Water Resource Conservation and Augmentation Mission. Kudi Maramat. I think they're focusing more on the farmlands and agriculture, but it is a very good initiative. And if you look at the state's water policy itself, it is enhancing water governance in the state towards improving water management practices. They are doing a number of activities, but don't count only on them. But you have to do the things by yourself. So let's see what we think should be done. Let's summarize into conclusions and recommendations. You can see. First of all, we saw that water is a very precious resource and must not be wasted. And humans have been inefficient users everywhere almost. And we also saw that the supply-demand gap is widening, and therefore the conservation of water is absolutely crucial. And we saw that saving water offers many benefits. I mentioned you benefit not just only saving water, but saves money, saves energy, improves the ecosystem, and so on. It's several benefits. So a strategic plan must be developed by every institution. This is one of the recommendations I see. And you must form a water team. You can use the students chapter to become water warriors, conduct a water audit, identify the opportunities, water savings, and implement key water conservation projects. It may be over a period of time. It may take 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. Major projects will take time, but some of them you can do it immediately. And ultimately, it will be a proud, environmentally conscious institution. And that is, I think there is no money value to that one, because it is a feeling that we have done something. So I'm going to pose a question to all of you. That's going to be my closing remark. Question to all. Now I'm going to quote Peter Drucker, who was a management guru. I've read many of his books when I used to work in the corporations. Management by Results was one. He asked, the critical question is not how I can achieve, but what can I contribute? That is a question to all. Now, this is a very famous quote. So each one of you should ask the question, what can I and my organization or institution do to contribute to a path towards water conservation or water circularity, to make it available to more number of people? So this is a question that each one of you must ask, because every drop matters. Small drops make the ocean, isn't it right? So I think we have come to the end of this presentation, and I'm just going to say thanks. Big thanks to all of you for joining us today. And I've given the contact information for us. I must thank not only you, but also Sita Rajagopalan and Dr. Sumitra Devi for sparing their time and working on this in this seminar for quite some time. And they have been instrumental in enrolling you people and also arranging this presentation today. Thank you, Sita, and thank you, Dr. Sumitra Devi. We all appreciate your efforts. And thanks to all the faculty, students of the DMI Engineering College and all the other participants, I would like to mention my thanks very, very sincerely. So we have a contact, we have phone numbers here, we have email, and we also have a website which is under formation. Actually, it is not complete yet, but you can visit the website. It is called subividyafoundation.org. And we are just adding more on things. Right now, it is operational, but not fully operational. And above all, we welcome volunteer donations. After all, we are a charitable organization and we thrive only on donations. So we like to use it for many activities. And if anybody feels like, please donate. You can visit our website and just click on the donate button in our website, and you can donate through Razorpay, which is the medium which accepts payment in different forms, or there is a QR code. You can just scan the QR code and directly donate via UPI. So all these things are also possible. So I would like to stop here and invite any questions from the audience.
Any query?
You can type it on the chat also. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Hi, sir. I'm Dr. Stanislas from DMI College of Engineering.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. And I hope we will start what is called Water Warriors Students Chapter in our college. And then thank you for sharing the wonderful strategies on how to save water. And, it was very helpful, and we hope we will continue to, be part of this great initiative. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, Doctor. I'm very happy that you have taken the initiative, and we will work together and make sure that your college really not only saves water, but it enhances the reputation amongst all institutions. I know that you are already doing a wonderful job, but we would like to encourage you to do more, and we will work together. We'll join our hands together, and most welcome to work with you. Okay, any students
Thank
having
you.
any
Thank you, sir.
questions?
Any questions, students? If there is any, you can post it in the chat box. We can answer you. The question session is open for 5 minutes, and if we get more questions, we will answer it via mail.
Oh, we have the chat box open, and
Yeah.
you can either type on it or you can just talk over the phone. We'll unmute it for the people who want to ask. Just raise your hand. Okay, if there are no questions, I think we would like to
Yes.
conclude this seminar with a big thank you and our
Yes, sir.
heartfelt appreciation to everybody.
Sam has.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I requesting Madam V. Sumitra Devi, the CEO of Explore the Space and practicing architect and tower planner, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you to Subi sir for such an enriching presentation, and thank you to the DMI College of Engineering and Mohammed Satak College of Engineering, the faculty and the students who have joined here for this presentation. We are sure all of us have benefited from Subi sir's presentation. Whatever he said are such basic information which we might bypass, but all these small things lead to the biggest difference in life. So let's
Yes.
make big note of it and save our earth. Thanks a
Yes.
lot. Thank you, Subi sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
See you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks again. Thank you.